Hi everyone, this is me returning favor to the do-it-yourself YouTube community. Okay, so this is my project. It is a 2020 Diamond Cargo 7 by 12 feet single axle slant V-nose cargo trailer that I had customized in a sense that they made it a little taller so I can stand inside. I also had them put the widest slash largest RV door that they could possibly fit in there. So I had them installed in the back. And I also told them not to make any doors on the side. Inside, it is a standard cargo trailer. As you can see, both sides are covered with plywood. I also made that that was my request to make a single sheet. So the entire roof is a single sheet of aluminum. I started by basically removing plywood. This was fairly easy job, and as you can see, I was fortunate enough to find a very large and cheap original RV window that I thought it's going to fit quite well. And so that was basically my first project. I didn't even finish removing plywood on the side. I started moving forward with this window because everything, in my opinion, everything depended on the way how it's going to fit, where it's going to fit. I give it a little thought, and this is what I came up with. This way, I figured I will have half of my window in the front, and I am going to have a half in the back. So that worked for me quite well. This was a fairly easy job. All you need is basically like an electric jigsaw and a drill bit that is wide enough to fit the blade inside. So this is the most critical moment basically where you supposed to leave the frame around it. It's gonna hold the structure. That was my biggest fear. That's why I started with this first, thinking if I make any mistake, I'm gonna have it right at the beginning rather than at the very end. As you can see, was put in place with this aluminum bar that goes across on the top and the bottom, and that provided that extra support. Because the idea is that this frame, I had a chance to look at how the originally is installed, and I decided I'm gonna make a little change. I'm gonna make this wooden frame around it, and then fit the window inside, rather than making that aluminum frame that actually goes around it. You can see it. I'm gonna mount it later. It would be basically touching the metal, and that wouldn't work in my opinion, so I decided to do it this way. The window is basically fitted with a silicone and then fitted in place. I hold it with a few 2x4s in place for a couple hours. When it got solidified, I removed them, and then I did the inside. You see, as you can see, the inside frame, it's going to be a temporary one, hold the window inside. And I was quite happy with this. The window is sitting where it's supposed to. I really like it, and it was time to move forward with opening extra hatches, as you can see on both sides. So I'm gonna have a storage room in the front. This was the probably the most boring part of the whole project. This is putting a this frame basically will give me an extra thickness, so I can fit my insulation in between those. So this is me almost finished with the framing, and as you can see on top I'll have to mount more. The next big thing was putting all this insulation together. The whole point of this project was to make a trailer be capable of taking me to the mountains, so I can go, skiing and do other things with it. I didn't want it to have a lot of condensation inside, so I decided to do it the same way how our houses are done. So we have this wrap around it, and then basically inside I fit the insulation boards, so the aluminum shiny part stays inside. So I would have a little bit of insulation with the wrap outside. Putting insulation was fairly simple, um, because I'm doing this in Florida and you can hear all these birds around it. It's fairly humid, so you will probably see me changing my clothes this video over and over again because it's just humid. It's insane how humid it is. This is probably one of those next days. So that's how it works. You have just a standard knife. Outside, you put your insulation wrap, and then you just move forward. What you will not see in this video is I will mount insulation from the bottom. Basically, when everything's done, insulation will be fitted from the bottom, so I will have basically the entire trailer insulated with a 2-inch insulation foam, and that hopefully will give me enough protection for cold as well as hot days. So for this size trailer, 7 by 12, I needed 15 boards basically to fit everything around, including the bottom. So they can give you a perspective if you decide to do similar project, how much material you're expecting to fit inside your trailer. And what I would say that this is probably the most important part. And all of that furniture and what I'm going to mount inside, as you can see, does not really mean anything if you don't have insulation that's going to be good enough so you can actually use this space. This is me trying to show that the way how I put the boards together. Usually they usually go one to another, and they're basically would hold each other. This is something that I learned from my uncle, and this is something that he was doing on his boat that he self-built. And while I was a kid, I had the chance to see him in action, and then later way how the wood is best done. If you make it fit one to each other basically, and then it support the one a board can support another, and then you can avoid creating extra like columns in this case. As you can see, I have only one column in the front, and that's just for like basic protection, safety, while everything is mounted on the side, and it should hold itself in place. I had many drawings of the interior layout, and after talking to several people, to watching a bunch of YouTube videos, other people doing similar projects, I decided I'm gonna use basically ideas from the big manufacturers. So as much as ideas I could get from Airstream, for example. This was one of those to fit the bathroom right in the middle, and use it to divide a space in the same time. Looked like a solid idea to me. So that was the reason why I choose to put the vent right on top of the roof. Here's gonna be this is where I'm gonna mount my water tank. This is a 10 gallon. I decided to go small. I have a 4 gallon water heater, so that gives me 14 gallons, and that is how big is my gray water tank. I used this tile-like material on this side is some kind of fiberglass that I found in Home Depot. It's about $65 a board, but it basically gave me peace of mind that my wall will be completely watertight when I have a shower. So I decided to have on each side. I'm gonna mount both of those. I use the standard paneling for sides and for top. This is something that my uncle also used in his project, and as you know, over the years, it turned out to be a very good solution. So I decided to go with it. I was debating with myself to go with like a wood, like I did there, but I decided to skip that idea. I have to say that my inspiration for most of the design that I did here, I found in the Netherlands. I also found with my uncle, as I said, and this is something that I wanted to do for a long time. So this now I skipped already to this section where I'm putting my future kitchenette. As soon as you walk in, on the right hand side, I'm gonna have a kitchenette. As you can see, I already mounted a small hanging cabinet there. And like I said, the same structure that is a tile like I used as a background, basically a wall in my future kitchenette. Power system. And this is now a little down the road where I had my bathroom almost done. There's going to be a closet on the left hand side. This is my kitchenette still pending. And this is the power system. So the power will go to the main switch, from which I'm going to have only two outlets for a standard 110, be getting from the RV park, for example. Or if I stand somewhere and I don't have my solar panel running. My idea is to make a trailer that's gonna be make me self-sufficient, so I can go skiing for several weeks, at a time. All I have to get is water that it's obviously readily available almost anywhere. Power, I decided to go with solar, so I mounted a 400-watt solar panel in the back of the on the rooftop, and then I'm feeding it into the solar controller. This is the way how it's done in the bottom. I have of this PVC piping and collecting all in one spot. This is the power my power box. It has an inverter in there, place for two batteries. I have a little bit of instruments, some switches, nothing fancy, and my solar obviously coming from there. Those two wires into the solar charger. That's something that I would like to I like to say here for all those who might be doing similar project. Do not save your money on a solar charger. Solar charger is important component in as the solar panel itself. It may not be sitting outside in in a cold or in a hot, but it's definitely going to make a huge difference. I was happy to find my solar panel for a very good with a very good price, on the other side of Florida. But I decided to buy a solar charger. Probably was more expensive than the panel itself. But what I get with it is to be, you can call it smart, and be able to give me peace of mind, even if when I'm not around, I might be able to control this charging even with my cell phone and so forth. As you can see, I'm gonna be having my painting on the wall. It's gonna be sitting right there. This is the wall that's containing an extra power outlet that's coming from my inverter. So it's gonna be my extra power outlet when I am running power from my solar. This is a collection box is mounted under the trailer, and it's sitting just under the shower. The point is that I'm going to be collecting all the water from the kitchen to the collector, and from which I'm going to be having basically a bilge pump that's going to have a floating switch and pushing water into the gray water tank. I decided to go with the 12-foot long trailer that it's the whole length is 16 feet, so I can easily pull it with my standard car, so I don't have to have any truck or anything like that. Thanks for watching.